Hey there, you're listening to the Girls Talking Life podcast, and I'm your host, Johanna. If you're like me, you love time with friends. I always leave feeling encouraged, inspired to try something different, or I've learned something new. So why not continue to grow even when we can't be with our girlfriends? We're not made to do life on our own. So in each episode of this show, I'll bring you a girl and her story to give you refreshing ideas to stir your soul. Let's walk this road together. Are you ready to talk life? Hey there, you are listening to the Summer of Friendship series, week 2. Last week we answered the question, does God value friendship? If you missed that mini episode, go back and give it a listen. Not only did we talk about God's heart and design for relationships, but also how we grow, how we get better when we're together. To go along with this series, I am hosting a summer friendship challenge. If you're ready to dig in with intentionality this summer, I would love for you to join us. Each week, you'll get an email with a practical action step to help you cultivate community, create meaningful connections, and build lasting friendships. If you're not part of the challenge yet, find the link to sign up in the show notes. In early May, the Surgeon General declared loneliness an epidemic in the United States. Surgeon General Murthy said half of U.S. adults experience loneliness, and that it can be as dangerous as smoking up to 15 cigarettes a day. Research over the years has also found isolation can lead to sleep issues, depression, anxiety, heart disease, stroke, and dementia. The Surgeon General's advisory says that on average, a person's social engagement with friends has decreased 20 hours a month since 2003. This is a public health crisis, but it doesn't have to be. Because, friend, the opposite is true too. While being isolated, not experiencing meaningful connection can have negative effects on your health, friendship, spending time with others and connecting is so good for you and your health. Being with friends allows for the building up of one another and for the exchange of ideas, but it also happens to be very good for our physical, mental, and emotional health. And knowing how God intricately designed every part of us, I don't think this is an accident at all. Positive social interaction or spending meaningful time with friends boosts your mood, reduces stress and anxiety, improves cognitive functioning, satisfies your need to belong, and can even lengthen your life. Those are amazing benefits. Let's talk about them. Friendship boosts your mood. You may have heard of the Harvard Happiness Study. Researchers set out to find out what makes for a healthy, happy life. They started studying people in the 30s, and they followed them and collected data for 80 years. What they found was that good relationships have an impact on our health, and they lead to longer, happier lives. The project's director, Dr. Waldinger, says personal connection creates mental and emotional stimulation, which are automatic mood boosters, while isolation is a mood buster. Meaningful connection reduces stress and anxiety. In her book, Growing Young, How Friendship, Optimism, and Kindness Can Help You Live to 100, Marta Zaraska says that over and over again, the research points to our relationships as a central factor in our health. She talks about stress and how one of the main stressors that we modern humans face is loneliness. Loneliness increases the hormone cortisol and inflammation in our bodies, which both can hurt our long-term health. While on the flip side, positive connection can increase the hormone oxytocin, which has the opposite effect. It lowers the stress hormone cortisol, helps with our cognitive functioning, and even reduces pain. The release of oxytocin in our bodies can be triggered by physical touch, so a pat on the back, a caress of the arm, or a hug can all make you feel better. Zaraska also suggests that eye contact can even increase this feel-good hormone. Susan Pinker, in an article for Medical News Today, says that face-to-face contact releases a whole cascade of neurotransmitters, and almost like a vaccine, they protect you in the present and well into the future. So simply shaking hands, giving somebody a high five is enough to release oxytocin, which increases your level of trust, lowers your cortisol, and lowers your stress. That is amazing. Did you notice that she said face-to-face? We can't hug or high-five through a screen. It is just not the same, and it doesn't have the same health benefits. I thoroughly enjoy technology and social media. They help me see and interact with my team at work. I'm part of an online community that I absolutely love. I Vox with friends, but it shouldn't take the place of in-person connection. In an article from the New Yorker, Maria Konnikova explains that without investing the face-to-face time, we lack deeper connections. We might widen our network to 200, 300, or 400 people that we see as friends, but keeping up an actual friendship requires resources. If we're spending our time and effort to like and comment online, we'll have less capacity left for the in-person relationships that we crave and the health benefits that go along with them. We'll talk more about our capacity for friendships in a few weeks. Positive relationships protect your cognitive health. A study published in August of 2021 found that having someone to have good conversations with may be part of what's protecting brain health. The data showed that a group of over 2,000 adults who had participated in the Framingham Heart Study, of those adults, those who reported having someone in their lives they could count on as a good listener were more likely to have higher levels of cognitive resilience, a measure of brain health known to be protective against brain aging and disease like dementia. Friendship promotes a sense of well-being. We crave connection, and we all have a need to belong. Do you remember Maslow and his hierarchy of needs from your high school psychology class? His theory gives a pyramid of needs starting with the most basic and the most pressing needs like food and water and shelter, and then moves up a tier to safety and security. His theory suggests that you have to meet the needs on tier 1 before moving up to tier 2, and so on. So guess what tier 3 is? After you've eaten and you feel safe, you have a need to be loved and to belong. Research shows that meaningful connection and affectionate communication satisfies this need within us. A sense of belonging fulfills an important emotional health need that helps decrease feelings of depression and hopelessness, according to a study published in 2015. A study in college students found a positive link between a sense of belonging and greater happiness and overall well-being, as well as a reduction in things like anxiety, depression, hopelessness, social anxiety, and suicidal thoughts. I find this research to be so fascinating. Hopefully I didn't overwhelm you, but more importantly, the scientific research points back to what the Word of God is telling us. We are created for connection. Today, we looked at why friendship is so good for you. Next week, I am turning it over to my very special guest host, Jill E. McCormick, and she is going to be talking about the Enneagram and how you were created by God with your personality type by design so you can be the friend God created you to be to others, and so you can be friends with God Himself. Until then, remember, we are made to be in relationship. Positive social interaction or spending meaningful time with friends boosts your mood, reduces stress and anxiety, improves cognitive functioning, satisfies your need to belong, and can even lengthen your life. While loneliness is a health epidemic in the United States, it doesn't have to be. So along with eating good food, moving your body, make sure you include connecting with friends for your health. Tune in to hear from Jill next week.